Welcome back to High Stakes. Today, we will be discussing the following NFL matches that is happening on Saturday, August 19, 2023. We will be providing our team, total and prop picks for the day. Before we get started, please remember to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. If you want access to our premium picks, you can check out our Patreon page. You can find the link to our Patreon page in the description and comments section below. Chicago Bears vs Indianapolis Colts. Take the Colts to win and cover as a first pick, and here is why. Justin Fields has become a popular sleeper bet for league MVP during this preseason. He gave his backers an extra boost of confidence after going 3-3 for 129 yards in the preseason opener. The Bears struggled to create long passing plays last season. Against the Titans, they had 2 passing plays of over 50 yards, with both finishing in the end zone. DJ Moore had a 62-yard score on the first drive, and Khalil Herbert scored from 56 yards out on the next possession. Rookie QB Anthony Richardson did not play particularly well in his preseason debut, but that did not stop the Colts organization from naming him starting quarterback for Week 1 in the regular season. Richardson went 7-12 for 67 yards, but threw an interception on a miscommunication and could not get the offense moving. The 4th overall pick from Florida is an excellent athlete and can use his speed to get out of a jam while he learns how to read NFL defenses. Richardson needs more reps and will be under center for most of the first half. Having witnessed Justin Fields' exceptional performance in his inaugural preseason match, the Bears have garnered the necessary insights. As the designated franchise quarterback for Chicago, Fields has effectively addressed any doubt surrounding his capabilities. Considering his style of play, the Bears are intent on safeguarding their emerging star from potential injuries. Consequently, his involvement in this upcoming game is anticipated to be limited, if at all. In contrast, Richardson's situation with the Colts demands a different approach. As he assumes the official starting position, Indianapolis aims to establish a rapport between him, the offensive line, and the skilled players. Repetitions and practice with the Colts starting unit are essential for Richardson's integration. Therefore, he is expected to take the field for a more substantial number of snaps compared to Fields. Additionally, the Colts boast a more seasoned set of backup quarterbacks in Minshew and Ellinger compared to PJ Walker and Nathan Peterman. The Colts are recovering from a loss and will have the advantage of playing their sole home preseason game, adding to their motivation to secure a victory in this context. Our total pick is under 40.5 points. And here is why. Fields led the Bears to 14 points on the first 2 drives last week. Chicago only scored field goals for the rest of the game. Fields will not have 2 passing touchdowns of over 50 yards on his first 2 drives again, and he may play even less in this matchup. This results in the Bears scoring less than they did last week, and Walker and Peterman are not going to light this game up. Richardson will get more reps for Indy, but they barely moved the ball when he was in against Buffalo. In terms of preseason games, this total is on the higher side. I expect Chicago's offense to struggle on the road with their backup QBs, which is enough of a reason to take the under. Tampa Bay Buccaneers vs New York Jets. Take Tampa Bay to cover. As a first pick, and here is why. Tampa Bay is having a public battle for their starting quarterback position. It was well known that Baker Mayfield would get to start the first preseason game, and Kyle Trask will start the second game against the Jets. Mayfield has the bigger name, but that will not matter if Trask can prove he is the better quarterback to lead the Buccaneers through the post-Brady era. The Jets headed to Carolina to play against the top pick in the draft in his NFL debut. New York held Bryce Young to only 21 yards passing and sacked him once for a 9-yard loss. To be fair, the Panthers were playing it safe with Young, as he only threw 6 passes, and backup Matt Corral threw the ball 22 times. This does not diminish the play of New York's defense, as they held Carolina scoreless in the 27-0 shutout. The Buccaneers' quarterbacks are driven by specific objectives. Trask's performance hinges on delivering a strong showing accompanied by early scores, a combination necessary to sustain his position in the competition. Conversely, Mayfield has the potential to solidify his dominance in the competition through a second consecutive impressive performance. To provide Mayfield with a genuine opportunity, the Buccaneers might retain more of their starters on the field to complement his presence. The driving force lies in motivation, with the Buccaneers players standing to gain more from this scenario. In contrast, the situation in New York features a largely established depth chart, barring a few openings along the offensive line. Following their noteworthy preseason display against the Panthers, the New York team appears inclined to ease off the accelerator and transition smoothly into the regular season. Meanwhile, Tampa is poised for a rebound after a lackluster performance against Pittsburgh. The dynamic quarterback battle is expected to propel the Buccaneers to not only recover, but also to cover the spread. Take the over as a second pick, and here is why. All Jets headlines focus on Aaron Rodgers, but the future Hall of Famer will not see action against the Buccaneers. This leaves Zach Wilson and Tim Boyle to take snaps for New York. Wilson is trying to prove he can still be a starter in this league, even if it is for another team. Wilson threw for 123 yards and a touchdown with no turnovers. Wilson threw 20 passes and will get to see plenty of action against Tampa Bay. Boyle played well in his time, going 9-10 for 84 yards with 2 touchdowns and an interception. Israel Abanikanda and Travis Dye will be the top backs for the Jets, as they have led the team in carries over the first 2 preseason games. Bryce Hall is still returning from an injury, and the team just signed Dalvin Cook, but neither is expected to play Saturday. The Jets did not use their top receivers against Carolina. The only projected starter to see a target was Allen Lazard, but he was only targeted once. The quarterbacks have a lot left to prove in this preseason matchup. Kyle Trask and Baker Mayfield both want to start for Tampa Bay. Zach Wilson knows he will not start over Aaron Rodgers, but his future starting potential is on the line as he is trying out for other teams or will wait for the Rodgers era to end. In terms of preseason games, this gives you 3 quality quarterbacks with more to play for other than simply shaking off rust. This total is relatively low at 36.5. The Jets scored 27 alone last game, and Tampa put up 17 in a loss. The Buccaneers will play better, leading this game to go over the total. New England Patriots vs Green Bay Packers. The Packers are my play. And here is why. It wasn't Aaron Rodgers under center, but the Packers' new starting quarterback produced the same familiar results that Green Bay fans are accustomed to in the team's preseason opener. Third-year QB Jordan Love showed he's capable of taking the reins following Rodgers' off-season departure, finishing 7 of 10 for 46 yards and a touchdown in a 36-19 win in Cincinnati. Love completed passes to 5 different receivers, including Romeo Doubs for a 9-yard TD on a fade route, and did not throw any picks. Based on the signals from week 1 of the preseason, there is little indication that the Patriots will present a challenge against Green Bay this week. Coach Belichick appears disinterested in deploying many of his starters, and New England's offensive line has been grappling with injuries throughout the preseason. Consequently, the Patriots struggled to amass a mere 180 yards and achieved 9 first downs in their loss to Houston. Conversely, Green Bay exhibited exceptional synergy in their encounter with Cincinnati the previous weekend, with Jordan Love commanding the offense and an array of regular players supporting him on the field. While it remains uncertain whether the Packers will once again field as many starters this week, the coaching staff emphasized after their triumph over the Bengals that Love would receive additional reps in 1 or 2 upcoming preseason matches. Given this context, Green Bay is poised for significant success in this game. While Ezekiel Elliott's acquisition could ultimately prove advantageous for the Patriots, it seems unlikely that he will exert a major influence if he participates in this preseason game after only a handful of practice sessions. As also I'm siding with the under. As a second pick, and here is why. Green Bay was led on defense by rookie safety Anthony Johnson Jr., who logged a team-high 5 tackles. Fifth-year safety Dallin Levitt and rookie quarterback Carrington Valentine each had an interception for the Packers. On special teams, 6th-round draft pick Anders Carlson handled the place-kicking duties on Friday, connecting on his lone field goal attempt from 45 yards, but missing 2 out of his 5 extra-point attempts. With veteran kicker Mason Crosby still not under contract, Carlson could be in line for more opportunities moving forward. Green Bay will play its final 2 preseason games at home, including this contest against the Patriots and a tilt with the Seahawks next Saturday afternoon. Even after Green Bay's 36-point outburst against the Bengals, I'm expecting this to be a much lower scoring affair. We've gotten pretty used to Bill Belichick's defenses ranking in the top 10 of the NFL for total yards and points allowed like they did last season. It looks like more of the same defensive mince early in 2023, as the Patriots seemed more interested in controlling field position against Houston than they did in striking for big plays. The Packers looked very good defensively against the Bengals, forcing a couple of turnovers, holding Cincinnati to 4 of 15 on third downs, and limiting the Bengals to 66 rushing yards and 274 total yards on their home turf. If those reasons aren't enough, I'll leave you with the fact that it's next to impossible for me to support the over in a game involving the Patriots after the clunker by their offense last weekend.